most of the marketers in the room, because your single source of truth for where you keep your data doesn't live in the cloud, or in a marketing cloud, I should say. Some do, and I'll be the first to say, if you keep your CRM source of record in a marketing cloud, by God, you use their email system. It's just easier. It's synced up. It works. But if it doesn't, the data syncing that's required for your large data sets just to send up to the cloud is painful, as evidenced. And this is another thing about cloud software that is, just by its very nature, everybody in the room uses the same software system, right? So, and when you have software in the cloud that uses the same software, the same interface, the same data structures, as the largest sophisticated marketers that have really complex data and large sets of data, when it's a one-size-fits-all software system, it's not optimized for the largest clients. It's optimized for a lower common denominator, so you can get as many clients as possible. So for the biggest email senders in the room, it's just very painful. And so it's really all about where your system of record sits. And for the vast majority of our clients, and certainly the vast majority of, I would say, large B2C marketers, it sits behind your firewall. And there's a few reasons for this. It's because it's so large that it would be prohibitively expensive to store in a marketing cloud, or it's because of PII. You can't send PII up to a third-party system in the cloud, regardless of how secure it is. It could be because of very complex data structures, or most likely a combination of all three. So where your data is important. And if it sits locally, then you should be able to access that data where it lives. We don't replicate data at MessageGears. We remove the barrier of having to replicate data up in the cloud. We use your data where it is, and it does amazing things. It unlocks an entire world of possibilities. Your data is real time, always. Because it's the single source of data, you get access to everything. You get access to the actual data when it lives. There's no mapping tables. There's no jobs. There's no failed jobs. There's no data syncing. And so it creates a world of opportunity for marketers to achieve their ultimate goals. But we do believe in the cloud. We believe what belongs in the cloud actually should stay in the cloud, and that's email rendering and sending. So there are, and we do that as well. So it is dramatically more efficient in a multi-tenant cloud environment to render email and send email, and for us to handle deliverability. So we're not a on-premise software product. We have part of our product that's more efficient to sit behind your firewall sits there, and the part that should live in the cloud lives in the cloud. We're a hybrid solution. So let's give some more positive quotes. I'll tell you what we're hearing from our clients after installing this hybrid cloud solution. It's amazing, Roger. I can, if I have a new data source that I want to target email lists against, it takes me 1 day to get that launched. And right now, before I installed you, I was with the Marketing Cloud. It took 3 weeks. And that was moving heaven and earth, right? You have a new data source, install it in my database, that takes 1 day. With you, we can send emails. With the cloud, I have to create a new job. I have to work with their tech team. There's a third-party vendor involved. I have to QA the job. I have to get it up there. I have to QA the email. And 3 weeks is the best we could possibly do. And that is putting a whole team on it for 3 weeks. It's expensive. It's laborious. Real time versus 1 day. Roger. I can now trigger based on events that happen in real time instead of a latent data set, right? Instead of a subset of my data that's up in the cloud that's 24 hours old, I can now trigger things that happen in real time, and not just maybe 2 or 3 bespoke triggers that I've set up through a Marketing Cloud, but on anything and everything, really at my whim. Roger. It takes me 50% less of IT resources to use your platform, which is counterintuitive, right? Because you would think cloud software really should be easier for IT resources to maintain. But that's because of it's all about the data syncing. Because of the necessity to sync data and the failure of jobs and the monitoring of those, 50% less IT resources. Quite sure every marketer in the room would love to talk to IT less to get their email out the door. This is the most important one. Because of the real-time access to data, because syncing jobs don't fail, because you can do whatever you want, when you want, with your data in real time. This was from a client a couple months ago. So we've achieved a 100% increase in email ROI since we started using your platform. So his quote was, "Your way is just a better way," and it certainly makes his life easier. So that's it. Appreciate everybody's time. I hope you enjoyed the coffee, which is in the back of the room. And have a couple colleagues here today with me. Lisa Fenfer and Chris Brown are here. So please find one of us, and we'd love to tell you more about MessageGears. Thanks so much.
Thank you, We're going to break for about a 15-minute coffee break. Roger will be here if you have any questions. Thanks again to Roger and MessageGears for being one of our sponsors and for